All right, boys, Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt is here. We just got off an 8-hour stream. I kind of wanted to run with the Huntress. I've been seeing a lot of people say she's better with the bow than the spear, but I'm sure that's early on, you know, who knows. But I was like, you know, we did a lot of mercenary gameplay, a lot of witch hunter. I wanted to try Tactician. I kind of felt like it wasn't going to be good, and that's changing my mind. Also, like, all the changes to like Act 1, Act 2, I'm sure Act 3, like different things, like the map is completely different, and like things have more stuff in the areas, and it seems like they added things are different. All right, let me know how you feel about it, what you've noticed. But look, let's talk about the Tactician here. Here's the thing, right? I just got my first 2 ascendancy points. I went for supporting fire, which is the new where it rains down arrows. Like, brrr. It does absolutely no damage, but it's only level 7. I'm assuming we can get this to level 20 or higher, you know, depending on how we scale things. And right now it's only 1% increased damage per 3 of your strength. So once you're end game, you have 200, 300 strength, depending on how much you can get. That's actually going to be pretty good, right? You're going to be doing a lot of damage. The thing is with this, the more I was looking at the support skills, the more I'm like, this could actually be really good. So the cooldown is 40 seconds. That's absolutely massive, right? I'm thinking maybe I go for the extra totem damage and totem skill speed, but then I'm like, maybe not, because we don't really need skill speed on the totem, right? We're basically, see, this is the thing. Because, like, Witch Hunter was definitely a little weaker than Gemling Legionnaire, but not by much. But for this, we're going to be focusing on the totems, our, like, ripwire ballistas and stuff, the new supporting fire, versus pumping damage. We're going to have to spec into some stuff on the skill tree here, like, for instance, this new one here. This is new. Allies in your presence, you know, have that, but you get increased attack damage while they're in your presence. So we're getting an extra 51% increased attack damage, which I guess makes up for specking in this, you know, other things. I'm pretty sure this one is new, maybe not. Cooldown recovery rate, we're gonna need this 25%. I was looking for pin. It looks like they changed. You can't just manually search for what you want. None of this says anything about pin. I don't know if there's just no nodes at all for pin. After looking, let me pull up my notes here. So basically supporting fire, let me show you in action, and then I'll get into maybe how we could build around this and what builds are possible with this thing, because it could get pretty interesting. All right, before we get going, let's go back to the passive skill tree, right? Okay, so this is, I definitely want to go for this. Okay, we can, in this line right here, we can get 40% increased pin buildup. Now, projectile damage builds pin. So we're going to get it building pin regardless. All of our projectile damage is going to build pin. Our ballistas, any attack we do, and then, you know, the new minion, this supporting fire, okay? And then I have 120% pin build-up support skill on the supporting fire. They'll give us 160% on that alone, but everything else would build pin. And this is going to be the bread and butter. Pinned enemies cannot perform actions. I don't know how long it's going to last. I guess 4 seconds. I don't know if this is going to work on bosses, pinnacle bosses. If it does, that'll be fucking crazy. But if we can get this supporting fire to lay the volley and pin all the enemies so they cannot perform actions, we can just get in there and just blast them, and we don't have to worry. Like, it's just instant, like, stun, lock, no abilities, can't evade, nothing. So while we might do a little bit less damage, we're doing damage control. It's gonna be kind of crazy. And then I was like, well, I'd have 2 more points, and I'm see, this is the thing, 50% less reservation, and you can also, I don't know, right? Like, this is a tough one, because you could place like multiple banners at once. But then this would be something, if you're doing, like, if you're playing multiplayer with friends, having more banners down would benefit that. It's not really, I don't see it affecting your little ballistas, whatever you want to call them. There's a lot you can do with this. I don't want armored evasion, but I probably will go for 8% increased spirit, and then this. So Herald of Ash and Herald of Thunder, that would make them 15 instead of 30. Because like this isn't like a normal minion where this is an actual skill. This doesn't reserve any spirit. So, you know, minion builds, you got to reserve spirit. This doesn't. So I feel like that would probably be the best. That way you don't have to put spirit on your gear. But outside of that, let's show you how it works here. So you can actually, it gives you this right here. You can mark or signal to your minions where they want to go. I got rid of that and I just pressed triangle. So let's go over here, right? So I'm gonna put these down. I'm gonna hit triangle, and we're just gonna look at it go, right? But it doesn't do a lot of damage, as you can see. But we just unlocked it, right? We haven't scaled it. We haven't leveled it. I also am running 40% less duration on my little ballistas here, but I can have two. Sorry, they stay out less time, like 12-13 seconds instead of. Back on my other build, I had my Ripwire Ballista gaining life regen, mana regen, and building rage, so we would get an extra 30% damage. But now I'm like, should I build this to support the, you know, supporting fire? So look, this is what I got right now. I have pin. We can't stun, but we build up pin. But once we unlock the all projectile damage pins, we can actually get rid of that. We don't need this, so that'll free up a slot, because for now we don't have that. And then lockdown, support skills have 120% more pin build up against enemies. I haven't gotten them to like pin yet. All right, so it's refreshed. Let's see what we got. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be, we just have to, we got to get some levels, and we got to get some, you know, some stuff going. So let's talk about the support skills that I'm looking at, and kind of, I guess, 2 or maybe 3 things I kind of want to try to do with these, I guess, minions totems now with the mercenary. All right, so let's look at support gems. So if we go to supporting fire, so this one is a level 2. Supported minions have 100% increased cooldown recovery rate, but minions deal 100% less damage with non-command skills. Oh. Is that a command skill? Oh, so this was made specifically. Okay, I was thinking I was just gonna lose 100% less damage. So this is insane then. With this reduced cooldown, we could pretty much get this thing going constantly and just spam this on top of our other abilities. That could be really crazy. Yes, because this is a command skill, so we don't have to worry about non-command skills, because it literally just is gonna do that. And its supported minions deal. Yeah, so that's all they do. So that's actually really good. So if we get that with the 40%, it'll probably be around 24%. And then with this, that'll take us to what, like 12-second cooldown? And then if we get 25% of that, I guess we can get down to 8-second cooldown. That could be really good. That could be really good. Okay, so we have commandment, right? And then we have bidding. I think this is a new one. Supported minions command skills deal 30% more damage. Definitely ingenuity, 30% increased cooldown recovery rate. And then, yeah, we could get this going like every 5, probably like 4 or 5 seconds, which could be crazy. We could just rain arrows down and then do our other stuff, and then constantly, like, we get it to build enough pin and we get the cooldown low enough, you're just constantly pinning enemies. I don't know if that's going to work with bosses. I don't know if you can pin bosses. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments, please. And then here's another thing, right? So, lacerate, right? You can inflict bleeding. There's some new support gems. As you know, we got 100 new support gems. There's also nodes I can get that inflict bleeding with my hits, which are literally right off where I'm going to be going. So we can inflict bleed, right? And then increase attack damage against bleeding enemies. I might have to do that, because then if we do that, we wouldn't have to put lacerate on. Oh, we could to, like, I guess, guarantee bleeding. And then there's a new one called Rusted Spikes. Supported skills aggravate bleeding on enemies when pinning them. If we can get it to pin and inflict bleed, right? We get it to bleed and pin. We can put this on and it aggravates bleeding, which basically is like when they're moving and they're taking extra damage, right? Bleeding that has been aggravated always treats the target as moving, which causes it to deal 100% extra damage. So we can pin them and just bleed them to death and blast them with whatever else we got, grenades, galvanic shards, right? And then on top of that, we could do, I guess, deep cuts for more magnitude of bleeding. Maybe. We might not need that, though. Oh, there's also another new one. Check this out. Bone shrapnel. Okay? Supported skills cannot cause pin buildup. Supported skills trigger bone shrapnel explosions on killing pinned enemies. So, say we had... I don't even know if we could put this on, like, I don't even know, like Herald of Thunder, or we could run it on, like, galvanic shards, I guess. I don't know. We'd have to look. But whatever we probably maybe put it on galvanic. As long as we have the new minion supporting fire doing the pinning and causing bleed, we can then, whatever we kill with, like, say, galvanic shards, whatever we use just to, you know, mow down the mobs, when they die, when we kill pin enemies, it triggers bone shrapnel explosions. I don't know how good this is going to be or how much damage, but literally we can get so much, like, pin, bleeding, aggravated bleeding, and then hit them, and then they all just explode with bone shrapnel. This could be pretty crazy. Now, my only issue is I don't know. I want to say bosses can't be pinned, but I don't know, because you can freeze bosses and stuff like that. I know you can inflict bleeding. I wouldn't see why you couldn't pin like a boss, a pinnacle boss. It probably would take more to pin them, but I mean, just like that alone, just looking at that, we got some options. So I just wanted to go over that if anybody's thinking about getting into the Tactician, you know what I mean? And I'm kind of getting excited now. I'm like, oh, there's some possibilities. Like having a volley of arrows that you can get the cooldown so low that you constantly are pinning mobs and enemies and bleeding, and then just bone shrapnel and explosions on top of, like, you could stack Herald of Ash and Thunder on top of that, and then they're exploding for ignite damage, and then they're getting zapped with Thunder on top of exploding with bones. This could be insane, you know? It might not be like a ton of damage. It might not be like, you know, we're still gonna have to figure out like a big single target damage, but it's like for the boss, you figured that's not gonna take an effect. You're not gonna be killing it. You're not gonna be getting the bone shrapnel. So we would probably have to go with a railgun or something. I can't remember. I want to say I couldn't have this and this out at the same time. Yeah, I'd probably just stick with Ripwire, honestly. Because this one's not as good. So I mean, we could probably still run Shock Burst and Plasma Blast for single target. But I mean, yeah, I just wanted to go over that. Like, there's some cool options that you can do. Let's say, bow me please, daddy. Okay. So yeah, I'm just I'm a little excited about Tactician now. Kind of curious to mess with it and see what we can do. See if I can still get a decent shock, like galvanic shock burst rounds build on top of having the minions out. You know what I mean? That way I can still shock burst be, you know, like my big single target, like boss DPS, and then have the minions out and boost our damage. But we'll see. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Tactician. I think it probably could be pretty cool. So I'm excited to get in there. But let me know how you're liking Dawn of the Hunt, what class you picked, if there's any pin nodes I should be aware of, or any advice. Let's build this thing, get it going, you know. Anyway, you know the drill. Subscribe, come back. See you on the next one.